Kendall. Thank you for coming on tonight. We are honored to have you. How are you tonight?
I'm good. How are y'all?
We're doing much better than a lot of Morgan Wallen fans, but we'll get into that in a
Right.
second.
Yep.
So speaking of music, favorite song right now? What's playing in the AirPods?
Probably anything really Rod Wave. That's what I'm going with.
Okay. So I feel you. So speaking of, if you had gone to Morgan Wallen last night, how mad would you be today?
I would be very mad, honestly. Just especially sitting out there in the cold all night,
Ooh.
5 minutes before.
Would you
Well,
have
his
been
seat.
more mad that you were in Vaught Hemingway? I mean, being a Memphis Tiger, or that you look, they went out, you had to see like Bailey Zimmerman, Hardy, and then all of a sudden, surprise, Morgan lost his voice.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm buying it.
I'll say this. I'll say this, Randy. Obviously, I was leaving the LSU Ole Miss baseball game, and the amount of people like just outside the stadium lined up for the gates to open. Yeah, you got to be pissed. I understand that the opening act supposedly killed it. Hardy killed it, but it doesn't matter. They came to see Morgan. And I was like, what was funny was my son's take on it. Kendall, he was like, "Why are so many people wearing cowboy boots? We ain't used to that around here." And so I was like, "It's a country concert, but."
Yeah.
But like new country, not like real, like not that. Anyways, we're not gonna get into that. Kendall, we're not even gonna talk about favorite music or none of that. I do want to know, like, what's your favorite movie? Like, you can sit down and watch it as many times.
Oh Lord. Well, I'm not very like a huge movie person. I don't really have the attention span to sit down and watch a movie.
I feel
But
you.
like sports movies and stuff, I like The Sandlot a lot.
That's a good one. Where do you land on Fast and the Furious 87?
I've actually never seen Fast and Furious.
Like any of them?
Mm.
Oh man. Well, we are ending this podcast. Thank you.
You know what? We're gonna let her slide because the last softball player that came on here said her favorite movie was The Conjuring, and we've asked every guest since that was a male, would they date a girl who said their favorite movie was The Conjuring, and they've all said that's a red flag.
Red flag.
Red flag. Do you like horror movies if you watched a movie?
I do.
Oh, see, red flag. It's not going to work for the dating scene. Okay, moving on. Who's your favorite athlete? It can be current, it can be all time, anything.
Let's see. Maybe Serena Williams.
The queen.
Yep.
Queen does it all. I mean, literally, you talk about a game-changing athlete. Not only what she did for women, but for African Americans. I mean, everything that she's done, and just with such class, dignity, beauty, the whole thing. What a queen! Great answer. I think that's the first time we've had that answer, Jim.
Really?
Yeah, no, and I absolutely saw it, so I love it. So let's get into it, Kendall. For those who don't know, where are you from?
I'm from Lakeland, Tennessee, Arlington, Tennessee, right outside of Memphis.
Well, which one is it? Lakeland, Arlington?
Well, it's Lakeland, but a lot of people don't know Lakeland, so Arlington's the bigger one that people know.
I know Lakeland. I got married in Lakeland. What's the name of that park, Randy? I don't even
know. It's International Park.
Yep.
It's bad. I don't even know the name of the park.
I live about 5 minutes from that.
Yeah.
Anyways, so obviously Lakeland, Arlington area, growing up, what was the family dynamics? You got brothers, sisters, what's going on?
I got 3 sisters. So I got one older and then 2 younger.
So you're kind of falling in that middle. Was there a lot of competitiveness growing up between the 4 of y'all?
Not so much. I'm really the only athlete in my family. My youngest sister, she ran track a little bit. She tried to play softball, but she liked to stick around with me and travel when we traveled. So she just kind of gave it all up. But I'm pretty much the only real athletic one.
That's actually a rare occurrence. Usually when we have most athletes on here, they come from a family. Me and Randy are always like, y'all want to share the wealth of like the whole family went to college and played, their parents went to pro, like, and it's like, we're sitting here like we got donated nothing.
So true. Kendall, we've had on, Cameron James, Prince of the podcast, or I guess that's Brady, but his cousin's Austin Riley, his dad played in college, his mom played, he's got a brother that plays in the pros. Yeah. A sister that played softball in college. I mean, I'm like, damn, my siblings ain't shit.
The whole family affair.
Man.
And so with that, I was, that takes away who's the best athlete in the family. That's always usually the fun question. But I mean, so you had to have gotten it from somebody. Are your parents athletic?
My dad played a lot of sports in high school. So he played basketball, football, did track, all that.
All right. So for you, when did you start playing sports, and was, softball the only one, or did you play like a lot of people did? Did you play multiple sports growing up?
Well, I actually started way late. So I started playing softball when I was almost 12 years old. So a lot of people start like when they're 8 and stuff. I didn't start till I was 12, just playing around the neighborhood. Me and my neighbor, he used to play baseball. So I just got into it with him. So that's really how softball started. And then I played a little bit of soccer when I was way younger, basketball a little bit. But really, I just stuck with softball, and it's been softball ever since.
Well, that's fascinating, because that's something, I can't see when I look up your profiles to see that you didn't start till 12. And the reason I find that fascinating is when you look at how early you started playing travel ball. And so that means you obviously picked it up quick. So like, that's the question I'll have for you. As someone who started 12, I mean, was the game kind of come easy to you? Because I don't mean to like downplay softball in that sense, but you know what I'm saying? I mean, you were
Right.
already playing travel ball within the first couple of years.
Yeah, no, it did. It's just kind of like natural ability, really. So I just started playing rec when I was about almost 12, and then they actually told me I couldn't even throw the ball like as hard as I could to like the first baseman because they were scared that I might hurt her. So they told me that I had to go find a travel ball team. So that's really how it all started.
There it is. All right. So let's talk about it. I know that you played for some very big time travel ball teams around the area. What are some of the teams you played for and had success with?
Well, I started off at Extreme D Marini, so a little local team, and then I moved in 16U. I went over to play for Jack Kinney at Germantown, 16U. They're a well-known team around here. And then 18U, I went back to the same coach that coached Extreme, but he transferred over to Mississippi Glory. So I played for him in 18U.
Gotcha. All right. So where did you attend high school at?
Arlington High School.
All right. And I see that you were a 3-time all-district first team selection, 3-time all-metro selection, an all-state pick. You led your team your senior season with a 635 batting average. That is not a stat error, 635. And you hold the single season program record with 11 home runs and 60 RBIs. So let's talk about that. Talking about travel ball to high school, did the travel ball really set you up for success when you got to the high school level?
It did. Just playing like really competitive against like other girls. I always played older divisions when I was growing up. So just getting ready for high school and stuff. But it definitely did help.
Was Como the coach then too?
He was. Yep. I love Como. And Pops, McKay.
Love them all.
And
Yep.
so, with y'all bringing that up, and y'all were talking before the episode, as far as, sometimes when we talk to high school athletes, they played in an area that maybe the high schools weren't, competitive. But, listening to y'all talk before, it seems like, around this scene, you were playing against great competition in high school. Is that correct?
Correct.
So, yeah, putting up those kind of stats, you weren't doing that against just the nobodies. And so that's what's up. So between travel ball success, between high school success, at what point do you really start realizing, hey, I got what it takes to the next level, and then, coaches start reaching out?
It was probably like early freshman year of high school that I always knew like I wanted to play in college. But once I got into high school, I started varsity as a freshman, and I was like, well, I think if I can hang with all these girls, I'm hanging with seniors and stuff, then I can definitely just keep on growing and hang with people in college.
Yeah, no doubt. So ultimately, you chose Memphis. So for everyone who doesn't know, what's the reason why Memphis over any other school?
Just the hometown school. I just wanted to stay home where my family could come watch. And that was really it.
Yeah, so you kind of mentioned that, and Kendall, for those that don't know, around here, it just seems like even when you do play for a team as prestigious as Arlington, a lot of girls don't seem to get recruited by D1 schools. Like, I mean, that's just the reality of it. So how do you think you landed at a D1 softball program when so many other people that do have the talent, in my opinion,
Right.
don't get those same looks?
I think it's really travel ball. Like, you got to get on a good team, competitive team for travel ball. High school is always like a bonus. So really, like Coach Poole, Natalie Poole was the head coach at Memphis. When she recruited me, she actually never came out to a high school game, even though it's like right down the road, but it's always travel ball. They flew to Colorado to watch me play. So like they come out to like travel ball tournaments and all that stuff. So I'd really say just get on a good travel ball team and then work from there.
we've talked to so many players and coaches, really. We even had Coach Vitello at Tennessee on, and they kind of talked about it, that when you are recruiting travel ball players, you can go to a showcase and see 10, 15, 20
Right.
players at the same tournament, where at a high school, maybe you're looking at one, maybe two, one on each team, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, and it, like I said, as good as Arlington is, Houston, Carver, all those, you might be talking about one or two D1 high level girls. A
I
lot
mean,
of talent.
not even just softball, Brady. As far as when I
Baseball,
was
yeah.
covering high school baseball, the only one that I ever saw scouts at was Brady Tiger against Hunter Elliott, and that's because you had two elite guys going head to head. Other than that, I never saw them.
Yeah, talking about two guys that are, dominating at the college level. I mean, minus injuries. But Kendall, let's get into it. So you kind of talked about it. You start as a freshman at Arlington for Como. Then you go into your freshman year under Coach Natalie Poole at Memphis, playing 42 games your freshman year, start 24 of them, made your Tiger debut against LIU Brooklyn, blasted a 2 RBI triple. So when you got to Memphis after doing, starting kind of late, like you said, 12 years old, that is late in the game, and you're finding the success. You said it was based on just kind of natural ability. Obviously, you're putting in the work. I've seen you grind, over there with JB and everybody. So when you get there, are you more nervous or more excited?
A little bit of both. So I come in as, of course, I'm a freshman. I have girls in the locker room coming up to me. They're like, "You're Kendall. You're supposed to be like really good." So of course, I kind of put that like on myself, like, "Hey, they know who I am, so I need to come in and like produce." So I just trust my ability and keep working.
Let me ask you this, because I've been talking, obviously you've met my daughter before. She's 13, about to be 14, going into 14U. And people that don't know, for me, there was such a drastic difference in the pitching speeds and levels when you went like 10U, 12U, 14U, just drastic difference. For
Right.
you, did you have that same thing? Like when you went from different age groups, you said you played up, but was there a huge difference between when you're going up travel and you're seeing all the showcase and then to college? Was there a vast difference in pitching ability?
It was definitely a change. I mean, as far as speed and stuff, I'd seen that like in travel ball and stuff, but the movement, pitchers being able to tunnel their pitches better, later break and stuff like that is definitely better in college.
So how did it feel to blast a triple in your debut?
It was nice. It was good. Like a relief for me. Of course, I'm a little nervous going up there, but then I see that pitch and I just get a hold of it. So
did you celebrate? You were like, "I'm her."
I didn't.
Oh man,
I'm more the quiet type on the field.
oh yeah, me too, Kendall. I would never celebrate. So, what was the one thing you learned as a freshman that helped you the most going into your later years?
Just keep working. So just keep putting in the work. Really.
It's a grind for sure. So,
Yeah.
sophomore year, you redshirt. How did the redshirt come about, and how were you still able to? What were you still able to accomplish that redshirt season?
So, well, originally I tore my ACL in high school playing powder puff football. So, yeah.
Outlaw powder puff.
Yeah, so it was bad. Coach Morgan and them, they were so mad.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah. So then I got rehabbed, everything, came back my freshman year, played, and then I used to catch in high school. So I was like, well, I'll just give catching a go again in college. And then so I started catching a little bit again, re-irritated my knee. So then they had to go back in my sophomore year and clean up some tissue and all that stuff. So that put me out my sophomore year. But just overall, just learn. I got to sit like on the sides and like actually watch and observe the game. So I think that year I really grew like my softball IQ just by being able to watch more.
How do you deal with that? Because you talk about it all the time. It's mentioned a lot, the mental side of the game. How do you mentally deal with being out and not being able to do the things that your mind's telling you to do, but your body just can't do in that moment?
No, yeah, it's definitely tough, but I think just having like good coaches, teammates, and like a good support system around you, it definitely helped me. And then, like I said, I was just able to actually like learn the game more because like coming in as a freshman, of course, like I'm learning the game, but it's all kind of like moving fast still. So just being able to like sit back a little bit and slow everything down and just really watch and learn.
Yeah, so your redshirt sophomore season, you start the season 22 out of 25 games before COVID came in. You guys were riding a 4-game win streak at the time. So how tough was it that the news of the season was over? Because it was unprecedented times for everybody, right?
Yep. No, yeah, it definitely sucked because we were actually doing so good. Have a hot start to the season. Everybody's doing good, hitting well, and then just kind of like all shuts down.
Yeah, that's how we started this podcast, Kendall. So the only good thing is here now. That's why we're here talking to you and so many other athletes just like yourself. So, kind of, how did you guys kind of cope with that? Did you have Zoom meetings? I'm sure, like everybody else. Did you guys have any team activities?
We didn't really do team activities, so everybody kind of went home. We did a lot of Zoom calls, kind of checked in every now and then, but pretty much it was over for the year, so everybody went home. I mean, we had like one of my teammates, she came and she stayed here with me, and then I went down and stayed with her in New Orleans for a little bit, but that was pretty much it. And
You, know,
then
you
we
went
just,
to New Orleans. That was the hotbed for COVID. What are you doing?
I know.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna bring that up, but
We didn't go out, but
That's actually how I caught it. A buddy of mine went down to Mardi Gras. And I said, buddy, my tattoo artist. And then my tattoo artist gave it to me. So, yeah. Shout out New Orleans for giving it to a whole bunch of people.
I got it from Nashville, man. That's why I hate Nashville, but that's another story. That's a whole other podcast. So redshirt junior year, we're coming back off COVID. You play and start in 46 games, record 36 hits, 5 home runs, bringing in 26 runners, had a 7 multi-hit games and batted .291. So the team didn't have the success, obviously, you're looking for because you're used to winning a lot, Kendall. But was there a favorite game or a favorite moment that sticks out to you about that season?
I think that was the season we went to Hawaii, actually.
That's pretty good memory.
Yeah, no, that was a good one. So I think that was probably my favorite.
Yeah, so like now y'all have gone through COVID. Now you're traveling to Hawaii, man. I mean, how cool was it? Did you ever think like when you're playing, for Glory or Germantown or those people that you could be in Hawaii for softball?
I never thought that. But in college, I've been able to travel. We've traveled a lot of places that I've never been. Probably never would have been without softball.
Man, shout out University of Memphis, Randy, because, Hennigan came on here from the football team and talked about how much he enjoyed Hawaii. Memphis be getting to go to Hawaii. That's what I'm talking about.
We went to Mexico last year, so.
Hey, that's the way to recruit right there, Randy. You come to Memphis,
we'll take you to the country, baby. Yeah, so let's get into that redshirt senior season. 53 games, batted .298. Let's talk about that progression. Obviously, look, I tell my daughter all the time, hitters don't sit, right, Kendall? And I've seen you work in the, in the cage and all that. I've seen you at games and everything. I think that mantra holds true to you. So how did you get better from season to season? You talked about the learning and the breaks and everything. How did you keep all that in front of you and just keep grinding to get better?
Really just keep learning the game more and more. So like as each season goes on, just reflect. At the end of each year, we have like meetings, like exit meetings. We just go over stats and what to work on over break and stuff like that. And it's really just being able to like coaches trust you to like go home and actually like do the work. So I'm big in the gym. So I get in the gym, work out, hit with JB. So we just do
stuff pretty good.
Yeah. Just do stuff like that. Just make sure I'm staying on top of my game.
So for those that don't know, a lot of people obviously locally to where we are do know this, but in the middle of all this, you're going to school, you're getting better, but you're also hosting some summer camps and classes and lessons. How do you find time to get these girls better? Because it seems to me, and I don't know you like on that level, but you have a passion for this younger generation. You take time with them. How do you connect with this younger generation to kind of keep them on that same line that you are on?
Yeah, no, I just love giving back to the community, really. Just working. I just, like you said, it's just a passion of mine just to work with younger girls. And then it also helps me, in a sense, get better because, like, you have some people that can coach the game but didn't play. You have some people that play but they can't coach at all. But I just find, like, that middle ground where I can play and then I have these younger girls who look up to me, and then I can also give back to them and teach them what I've learned or what like I wish I would have learned coming up.
Jim, she's like a celebrity when she comes in though, because like she came to the middle school game like the first part of the season, and all the girls like, oh my God, did you see Kendall? I'm like, oh yeah. I said I saw her. She came in. Did you talk to her? I'm like, no, girl, she was at the top. I didn't. But yeah, definitely. So when Lila saw her at Jordan's a couple weeks ago, she was like, I said, you can speak. Like she's not gonna bite you. But yeah,
but I mean, that's what's awesome though. You want that from your daughter. You want her to look up to these athletes, especially the good ones that are role models.
Yo, so this last weekend, Kendall, we're up in Knoxville. I know that's a rivalry, but we're up in Knoxville. We hit the baseball game, we hit the softball game, and we've had some Tennessee players, a lot of baseball players, some of the softball girls. So my 2 daughters go over there, the bullpen. We've had Charlie Orsini on, the Aussie that pitches for Tennessee, and she took a couple minutes and just talked to him or whatever. Just that stuff just means, and I know you know this, I see you do it, but it just means so much to this younger, like Lila's in 14U now. She's playing for Illusion. She's the same teams. She played for Germantown, right? Like we've been on this same thing. So I try to tell her, like, these are the same shoes they were in. Like,
Right.
so if you want to get to where they are, just follow their path. They've laid it out for you. Do what they do.
Hey, I got a question for you, Randy. You know, while you brought that up, I probably would have forgot, but now that you brought that up, you got my ball. You didn't get me a guest. I know you see behind me, Kendall. Every guest signs a ball, a bell, whatever, a poster. I asked this man to get me a Charlie ball, and he said he'd get one of the girls to get it for me. And clearly, based upon his response, he failed me.
Well, Kendall, next time I see you, I need you to sign a ball for me. But anyway, so something I do want to, changing topics, I want to bring up, you've been on the Dean's list every single year. You've even made AAC all academic team. How much pride do you take not only in you getting the grind in, being an athlete, but prioritizing academics?
A lot of pride. It's like you come to college mainly to get a degree. Softball's fun and everything, but college is to get a degree. So I've been in college 6 years now. So I've been able
Dr. Lee.
So I've been able to get my bachelor's in health studies, and then last year I graduated my master's in business. So
so like, man, what are you gonna do with that? You're gonna be like an entrepreneur? You're gonna be out here hustling the streets?
I'm not sure yet.
She's gonna do all that. She's gonna get all that just so she can end up being a softball coach. Watch this.
Como, she's coming for your job. So with these kind of grades and being at Memphis, you know, like you just said, did you say 6 years, 7 years, 6 years?
Yeah.
6 years. I mean, you know, I was going to ask, are you going to be a doctor or work for NASA? But obviously you just kind of laid it out what the plan is. We don't really know yet. We're still figuring that part out.
Yeah.
So this season, 7 games left. The stats are on par with previous seasons. Team still struggling to find a little success. Obviously there was a coaching change, you know, for those that don't know. What are you, and furthermore, the team looking to accomplish down this home stretch?
Just continuing to get better, really. Just we've seen progress throughout this whole year compared to like past seasons. So just really finding ways to string together some hits, finding some ways to put some wins in the win column.
No doubt. So I want to talk to you real quick about that. Not specifics, obviously. I don't want you to get into that, but the coaching change that you go through, obviously Natalie moves on to another opportunity. You have a new coaching change. Just how hard is it? Obviously you build relationships with all this coaching staff. Right. Now you got to have a new one. How hard is that transition for the whole team?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it was a difficult transition. I mean, you come in, like you said, I had such a good relationship with Natalie. But it took me forever to even talk to her. Like I said, I'm real quiet usually. So it took me, even Coach Poole will tell you, it took me at least maybe 2 years to even like go up to her and start a conversation. So just like coming in, this is my last year, Coach Steph coming in, that I just had to build that relationship quicker. So, but I think we have a really good relationship, and she'll be really good for the program.
No, absolutely. So best of luck to you guys, obviously, against UT Martin. And then you guys head down to Tampa to take on UCF. So we're going to see if the host that's not here today because his wife is having their second child. So he took the night off. We're going to see if he can I'll go over there to watch you guys. Obviously, I've been down there to watch you guys on campus, but
it may be a little bit harder now. Yeah, it may be a little harder. But hopefully he'll make it up there because he has gone and seen Memphis guests when they come to UCF or USF. So he tries our best. He's our eyes down there in Florida.
Yeah, so we'll actually go to USF this weekend, and then we host UCF here for senior weekend, and then we turn around and go back to Tampa the following weekend.
Oh, so he's got a second chance at this. He can't fail this.
Chance.
If Daniel doesn't come and see you, either of those times, Kendall, we'll have him remove the Memphis flag that is actually his background for the podcast. It's got to go.
Perfect.
All right, so we're gonna let you off the softball hot seat, but get into a whole different one. Got a game that we've played with every single guest called This or That. It's pretty simple. Give you one option or the other. You can't say neither. You can't say both. You down to play?
All right, sounds good.
All right. Would you rather have the ability to teleport, or would you rather own a time machine?
Own a time machine.
Oh, are we going future or past?
Future probably.
I heard that. see what's going on in the future. She's going to be coaching national championships because she went to school and got multiple degrees just so she could do softball. All right. If this was your only mode of transportation and these were your two options, would you rather go place to place by a donkey or by a giraffe?
Giraffe.
Just looks cooler.
Is it the simple reason it looks cooler? But the question I like to ask then is, how hard is it to get up on that giraffe every time you want to take it for a spin, Kendall?
Not when you're an athlete, Jim.
Yeah.
She ain't got hops. Like, hey, I ain't never seen Kendall play, but I'm gonna say she ain't got the hops to just hop up on the giraffe.
No, 3 knee surgeries, yeah.
No.
All right.
A ladder.
So speaking of the knee surgeries, throw them out the window. Would you rather be the fastest person in the world, or would you rather be able to fly?
Fly. You gotta go with flying.
It seems to be the simple answer. And Randy, you notice I started changing it because nobody wanted to be the strongest person in the world. I thought somebody might want to be the fastest person in the world. We did have somebody say that, though. So we've had one strong and one fast, and then like 30 other people say fly. So unanimously, everybody wants to fly. Me, I want to be the strongest. Randy, I think, wants to fly. Would you rather be trapped? And this is interesting because we talked about the horror movie thing off the top. Would you rather be trapped in a romantic comedy with your enemies or a horror movie with your friends?
Horror movie with my friends.
No rom-com with the enemies?
No.
Only the homies.
We'd make it sound like somehow it'd be fun to be in a horror movie.
I've seen so many of these horror movies, Randy. You're my boy, but I don't think I want to do it, dude.
Nah, bro. Give me the enemies. I need something little light, These girls, it's a lot of ladies picking the horror movies, man. I think we might be onto some red flags.
No doubt. All right. So if you could go to any concert, like bucket list, any concert, any musician, anywhere, or go to any sporting event, anywhere, bucket list, are you taking the concert or are you taking the sporting event?
Concert.
All right. Who are you going to see and where are you going to see him?
I've always wanted to go see Chris Stapleton.
He's so good. I could just listen to him sing the national anthem over and over.
Yeah, no doubt. You got a place that you would pick? Like,
no, not
Red Rocks. Anywhere. At the FedEx Forum, of course.
At the FedEx Forum. What Lizzo playing tonight? Why ain't you down there, Randy?
I'm moving on.
All right. So before I ask this question, let's say straight up, you're not going to survive either. So it's about which one do you want to try to escape? Okay. Would you rather be attacked by a grizzly bear or by a tiger?
Maybe a grizzly bear, probably.
All right. And
so the bear you can climb the tree. Is that a black bear or a grizzly bear?
I feel like they could both climb the tree.
But she just went next level. She just went next level on Randy by asking the distinction between the bears.
No, I feel like there's one that they don't climb trees as well, so I could just climb a tree.
After 3 knee surgeries, Kendall, could you? Faster than a bear.
Okay, maybe not faster.
I'm not sure. Look,
I wasn't surviving, so.
Let me tell you, that's true. I would. Hey,
Randy, she's the 28th guest of this season in which we've asked this question. No, she's the first one to actually get the distinction between the bears and talk about this strategically.
That's true, Kendall, because I'm not like, I'm saying I'm out of shape. I'm like, can't run. I just want the tiger to kill me fast. Like, no, let's just get this out the way. I don't want to tussle with a bear because they might like toy with me.
Well, Daniel's theory.
A rare occasion you might win and you might survive.
Well, Daniel's theory, Kendall, is a bear is lazy at times. It comes off hibernation. You might be catching it going into hibernation. You might just catch it at the right moment and it may not even mess with you.
That's what I'm saying.
There you go. All right, so we're really going to put you to it with this last one. This is the staple question we have. Would you rather betray your best friend, and that means ultimate betrayal, no coming back, or go to jail for 5 years for a crime you did not commit?
I hate it, but I'm going to have to betray my best friend.
Ain't it, though? Ain't it?
About time someone intelligent came on. All these folks coming on here lying, talking about, I'll go to jail for my friend. We even have one guest. I'll go for 25 years for my best friend.
They just come on. It's all cap, Kendall. It's all cap.
Me and Randy ain't going for 5 minutes for each other.
If they tell me, like, here's the jail cell, I'm be like, it was him. It wasn't me. So, Kendall, is there anything that you want to plug or promote before we let you go?
Just my summer camps this year. I haven't announced them all yet, but I'll have one May 21st of this year, and then I'm gonna host a couple more over the summer.
Where are we hosting? Do we know that yet?
Freeman Park is the first one. So over there in Bartlett, that'll be the first one.
The park I grew up in. Let's go.
Slumming it in Bartlett over here with us poor folks. I love it.
And then the other ones will be out in Arlington, I'm sure. And then I'm hosting a couple or at least one in New Orleans with one of my other teammates.
Okay.
She can't stay out of NOLA.
That's the one we're coming to. The one in New Orleans. Not the one's 5 minutes from my house, but 4.5 hours.
Yep. The best one.
So look, if you want to follow Kendall Lee, you can find her on Instagram. It is Kendall_Lee11 or Memphis Softball. You know where to find them. So thank you, Kendall. If there's anything we can do for you in the future, please let us know. I'm sure I'll be seeing you again May 21st even.
Yep.
But that's Kendall Lee, everyone. If you like hearing her story or just like hearing Average Joes talking X's and O's, please like and share on Facebook, retweet us on Twitter, listen and subscribe on Apple, Spotify, and Anchor. Comments, ratings, and feedback are always welcome. We will see everyone back Wednesday night as we talk to Ole Miss baseball star Jack Daugherty. In the meantime, always remember, strong bodies, sharp mind. God, cut that.
Hey, he doesn't have to do this no way. And I'm an asshole. You like how I let you do it?
I didn't even know I was doing it until I looked down. I was like, shit, that says Randy.
Neither of us wants to do this because this is David's part, and he's smooth as butter. He practices it in the mirror.
I got it. Am I starting back when I say that's Kendall Lee, everyone, or what?
Yeah, I would, because you kind of sounded nervous.
Kendall, stay with me here. All right. Let me know. Am I starting now? All right.
Yeah, just go.
That's Kendall Lee, everyone. If you like hearing her story or you just like hearing Average Joes talking X's and O's, please like and share on Facebook, retweet us on Twitter, listen and subscribe on Apple, Spotify, and Anchor. Comments, ratings, and feedback are always welcome. We will see everyone back here Wednesday night as we talk to Ole Miss baseball star Jack Daugherty. In the meantime, always remember, strong bodies, sharp minds, grit and grind all the time. We out.